Well, hi, beautiful souls and light workers. I have been attempting to get this video up since Sunday, and it's now Tuesday. So, for various reasons, the divine timing wasn't on my side. So, here we are. Because the energy of July 2025, they tell me it's a tipping point that carries a powerful frequency of higher consciousness taking us to a timeline split. Well, that timeline split for me is so obvious. I don't know about you. You can actually feel it and witness it all around us, within ourselves, in our environment, with people going through different feelings of, do I go this way or that way? There's definitely a divergence that is happening, not just in the world, but within each of us. And so, one of the reasons that it was delayed was, so Council tells me, so that we can actually travel into July a little bit and feel this tipping point that we're all on. So, we're really standing at the threshold of choice. Will we remain bound to the old polarities or rise into unity? Will we follow our soul calling or continue to be led by external powers that want to, control us and tell us what to do and what not to do, and then we're just puppets? And so, well, that is what we're facing in July. So, if you haven't been to my channel before, my name is Yvonne Teoh Bource, if I remember it, and I bring messages from the Council of 12, who I have been channeling for nearly 40 years. Now, they're a group of beings from the Arcturian, Lyran, Sirian, and Pleiadian constellations, and I'm what they call a conscious channel, which means I don't need to go into any altered state to be able to connect with the messages. In fact, I've been doing it for so long, there's very little difference between the Von me and the council. We sort of have merged. But it's such a lovely, comforting feeling, because these messages just come through whenever we need them to support us and give us guidance. And so thank you for visiting my channel, which is becoming a wonderful community of awakened and awakening souls. So thank you and welcome. What is coming through right now for all of us is to be aware of the split of consciousness. If you have felt this true, if this is something that you're really witnessing and seeing, please comment. And in the comments, can you tell us where you're from? Because what I've noticed with all the beautiful people that are commenting is that they are always looking for like-minded, like-hearted people. So if you put down where you're from and ask, hey, is anyone else in this area? This is how we're going to bring this community closer and closer together. So it doesn't mean that, in this split that one is better than the other. Because that's real old thinking, isn't it? That's diversity, that's separation, that's I'm better than you, all that stuff that we don't really know how to do in a higher state of consciousness. It doesn't apply. So I thought I'd like to look at those two choices that we have, right? There's the path of ascension, which if you're watching this, you've obviously made that choice already. So those who, of us who remember our divine origin, and we're choosing sovereignty, self-sovereignty. And self-sovereignty, it's not something that's not a present. There's a lot of accountability goes with being self-sovereign. It means that we sever all the connections with those who make rules for us that do not apply to a higher state of consciousness. But then we have to maintain our lives. We are the ones. We can't turn around and say, well, you did it wrong, or make it better. It's all, the buck stops with us. with self-sovereignty. So it's not for the faint of heart. It takes a lot of courage to do that. So this path of ascension is, again, it's about love, it's about creation, it's about community, which I'm so thrilled doing this and finding that you're all, we're all coming together. I just love that. I run these brekkies, or well, I don't run them. I have a beautiful, beautiful awakened soul that walks beside me, and she has taken on the brekkies and does an amazing job. And again, we were close to 30 people for breakfast yesterday morning, and we raised a roof, and the ripple effect of that is just ongoing. So that's the path of ascension. So what's the other path? Well, the other path that I'm calling it the path of constriction. So those that are still, entranced by fear, giving power away to external systems, institutions, or predictions. This is one of the reasons I guess I didn't want to start this at the beginning of July, because everybody was looking for predictions of how was July going to be. Well, aren't we the creators of our realities? So I'm choosing what July is going to be, irrespective of all the energy changes and the fluctuations. It is about knowing how to manage it and how to keep ourselves steadfast and on the path. And that's what this whole video is about. And so I will be offering you 3 steps to support your choice, which obviously is to be on the ascension path. And then, how do we maintain that? Because there's chaos. We are the microcosm of the macrocosm, and there's chaos on the outside world. There is chaos within us as we are being restructured. It's not just mentally or emotionally. We are physiologically being brought into a higher frequency. That means that we need to accommodate a higher voltage, and that our cell structures need to be altered to be able to accommodate that. So we are going through all sorts of things. I don't know. Share with me what you're feeling. I know. Last night I got up, and all of a sudden I was so dizzy, and I'm going, well, a dizzy dame I am. I think I'll sit down again and just let that all subside, which it did. And it went away, and I was fine, and I felt, okay, I must have been upgraded just another little smidgen. But what we've been so indoctrinated with is to go, oh, what's wrong with me? Oh dear, I've got to go and see somebody to ask what's wrong with me. No, we need to tune into our bodies, and we need to feel it, and we need to know we're going through a transition. So 3 steps I'm going to give you to help you through all of that. And they're steps that have just become part of my life over the last 40 years. Now, if you're resonating with this work, please remember to subscribe, to share, to like, and comment. I love reading your comments, and I really respond to as many as I can. And thank you, because your comments are so beautiful, and it is so wonderfully encouraging for everyone who reads the comments to know that we're not alone. And there are more and more people every day who are saying no to the old way and yes to a new way. So, and then at the end, so because we are building a tribe together, I really feel that. I don't know if you're feeling that, but I really feel that. And at the end, the council will offer a meditative invocation not to be missed. So let's first look at the split and the split of the 2 paths that are now becoming more evident in everyday life. So what about the path of constriction? So this is a path we've been walking on for eons, right, of time, and are now emerging out of, right? That it's the path where we've had other people making rules for us. We know what limitation and constriction, conflict, struggle, and suffering feels like. We've all had it, we've all lived it, but until recently we did not know that we didn't have to do that. it didn't have to be this way. We're just finding that out, that it doesn't have to be this way, does it? We're all starting to know that we have power within us that we were never really taught. Because to have a race of enslaved beings, you don't tell them how powerful they are, do you? You tell them that they have no power at all. And that's what we've believed. We've always, I work with so many people, and the most ingrained belief system that runs the program underneath is, I'm not enough. And if you resonate with that one, please comment, because it has been one of the most powerful things that the powers, the controllers, have managed to ingrain into the human species from birth. So that idea, that is the path of constriction. And when people do not realize who they really are, because this whole journey is about know who you are, know who you are, know who you are. Okay, know thyself. And then we need to learn to implement that, know thyself. And when you really know who you are as a divine expression of source, then you can't do anything but love that. Yes? Because what's not to love about this amazing, magical body that you live in, this life that we have, as we discover more and more about ourselves, and we unveil more and more about the magic of everything that we are. It's like walking in awe the whole time, like children. Children, they still remember. They walk around in awe going, oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, look, there's a finger. Oh, look, constantly in awe. I love walking around the earth like that. So this path of constriction we've been is, we thought that we were powerless, that we needed others to make decisions for us at every level of our life. We gave total strangers, because we did it, we gave total strangers power over us, over our health, our way of living, how much we could earn or not, what kind of jobs we could have, even who we're allowed to love or to marry. I mean, how ludicrous is that? To choose the path less traveled, which we're on, is still too much for some people, right? It's still too much for those who as yet cannot see that there's another way. They can't see that they're trapped into disempowerment. And some people just don't recognize or haven't got it within them. And it may be just their soul path that they didn't come here to learn who they are. But some people just haven't got the courage to step out of that because it's unknown. And boy, have we been made to fear the unknown. Wow. Yes. Well, hey, 2 seconds from now, completely unknown to me. I don't know about you. Though I don't profess to be a clairvoyant, none of us really are. We can only see future from where we are now in the vibration. But if we change the now vibration, then the future changes. Oh, that's another video. Okay, so this path of constriction we're very familiar with. And, it is where people's still operating from. And it's their soul journey. And some are taking longer than others. And it will take them to a time where their awakening will also be there. And we need to learn to stay open-hearted and ready to welcome them when they're ready to come. Really, our job, I think, is to show a different way. Not to fix the old, because the third dimension is a dimension of polarity, of conflict, of contrasts, of all of those things, duality. So fixing it makes no sense. We need to lift our vibration to another dimension where that does not exist, and that is what the path of ascension is all about. So, most of you that are watching here have been on this path for some time and are very familiar with it. right? It doesn't mean we don't have any challenges. Boy, it's not an easy path. I've been traveling it for 40 years, and I'm now at a stage where, hey, I'm living all the rewards and the wonderful things. But I'm still human and I'm still feeling pain for people and all of that. It doesn't mean that you suddenly, live into a nirvana because, that lovely word perfection. Oh my, can we get rid of it? Because when you are perfect, it's an end of it. Perfection means there is nothing more to grow. Well, I don't want to get to that stage, and I don't think it's possible in this forever expanding universe. So give away the idea of getting perfect at anything. Just know that you're growing. Every time I do anything, particularly these videos, right, I am learning so much about things that that I haven't ever even thought about. So let's really have a look at that as we move out of this into this ascension path where we leave behind the third dimensional construct of duality and polarity. And this timeline is speeding up. I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm on the fast train. It's going so fast. Every day there are changes. There's changes. However, it is causing challenges, isn't it? I know I talk to people and they have fatigue that they can't explain. They have lots of sleep, dizziness, as I told you. And some of the symptoms that people are experiencing are so weird. But for me, it's all a sign that we are being adjusted, that our DNA is being brought up to, a, a different, now I've lost my words. It's being brought up to whatever that word is. Make it up yourself. And so we're being recalibrated. All our cells are being restructured, and they have to become lighter in order to accommodate this higher electromagnetic frequency, right? Because we are electromagnetic beings. And the earth is being bombarded with all these extra light flashes from the sun, from the central sun, all necessary for all of us to be moved into a different dimension for a different experience of life altogether. So the most vital part of this path, I think, is to remember who we are. Yeah? Who are we? And to accept the responsibility of self-sovereignty for that knowing. Once you know it, once you accept it, then you really are having to take full responsibility for that. So we bless the people that are not on that path, and we send them love and compassion, keeping our heart open and waiting for their arrival. And hey, there are more people arriving every day. The gatherings that we have here. So locally, we have, as the community, we have the breakfasts, and then I run a fortnightly class, and there's always somebody new every time that has found their way. So every day someone else is waking up and looking for their tribe. So let's keep sharing, and remember, subscribe and share and like these videos, because that's the way that we reach more and more people and give them an opportunity to have this wake-up moment. So how can we stay centered and steadfast energetically and intentionally? How do we stay connected with soul and source? Okay, because that's really where we need to start. Always need to start with being the instrument for the soul that source has created for the purpose of this incarnation. That's all. People have spent years asking me, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? Well, your purpose is to fulfill your soul contract, to fulfill your soul mission. And it has a lot less to do with doing and everything to do with being. And that's what we're finding now. So let's have a look at these 3 steps, shall we? The first step that I want to talk about is to live life with conscious intent. So begin each day with focused intent. And that focused intent, look, I've been for nearly 40 years been getting up at what most people think is an ungodly hour of 5 to 5:30 in the morning. And when I first started this journey, I had 3 children to get to school, and I used to get up at 4 a.m. because that's the only time I had to prepare myself for the day. And it's really important to do that preparation, to set your body into a frequency that is going to lead you into and through the day. So begin each day with focused intent, and do it by connecting with soul and source, and be a living example of all that you wish to experience. I wake up every morning and I go, good morning, team. I connect consciously with my soul and source to show me the way. Just show me the way. I am willing and open to follow. I follow Spirit without hesitation to the next step in my life, in this incarnation. I always ask for the highest possibility for me and all concerned as I travel this path of ascension. It's important to put that last bit in, asking for the highest possibility, because when I say to you, surrender to your soul journey, that doesn't mean become a victim to your soul. It means it's a co-creative, cooperative partnership. The soul can't have this experience on the physical without the physical. The physical cannot have this experience without the soul. So we need to be on equal set, and we both need to be going on the same journey. What's been happening and what's happening in the path of constriction is that the soul and the physical are not on the same page, because the physical goes into this, the ego persona is into survival mode all the time. That is how we've been programmed. And the soul, it has no problem with survival, because there is no such thing as death. There is just transformation of form. And that the soul knows that. So the ascension path is bringing the soul and the physical expression together as one, and you travel together as one on this path of ascension. And the soul knows, but when you let your intellect get in the way, that's when we stray off the path. Yes? So, and it's not something that you have to become, it's something you have to remember. It's all about remembering who we are. I remember. And then we need to reclaim. We need to reclaim that from all the indoctrination of conditioning and programming. We need to reclaim the remembering of who we are. Our innate is love, compassion, joy, gratitude for the gift that this life offers. So when you wake up each morning, reinforce with your soul that you have a contract, and you don't really need to know what that is intellectually, but you want to be given signs, and you want to be supported, and you want to be supplied. And that's a funny thing. When you surrender to soul and source, you are always supplied, always supplied. It's only when you are not on the same page that the physical part of you has to struggle for supply. So if you're struggling for supply, then it's because you're not on the same page with your soul contract. So stop everything. Take yourself into a quiet place and just sit with your soul and go, please, please show me the way. But to walk the way, I need supply, because we are still traveling on in 2 worlds, and we need supply to maintain the status quo. So Every morning, connect, connect, connect. And when you look at those who are on the path of constriction, you realize that the reason why they are there is because they are disconnected. They're disconnected from knowing who they are, from knowing the big picture of what's going on. And so you just go, well, if they don't know, we can't expect them to know, and we'll just show them. Show them. So that's the first step, right? And one of the mantras that council has offered you here is to say every morning, I choose the timeline of unity, peace, and divine remembrance. I walk the higher road of love, harmony, and well-being for all. So when you really make a statement, I follow spirit without hesitation, always to the high road. We are on the higher road. Now, that doesn't mean better than anybody or less than anybody. It just means a higher vibrational frequency. That's all that means. So if you have a mantra that works for you, can you please share it in the comments? Because that's how we help each other. Because everybody is being given all sorts of help by their souls and given wonderful mantras to follow. So if you have a mantra that really works for you, please, please, please share it. I'd love to see them because there is, look, the thing about a mantra is it's not, our words don't mean anything really. It's the energy that we radiate from what we say. So if you are speaking words but you don't mean them, the words mean nothing. You know, the field only feels. Doesn't understand language, it just feels. So speak what you mean and mean what you speak. So when you do your mantras, make sure that you mean it and that you get your energy to match it. Right? So when you say, I choose a timeline of unity, peace, love, harmony, well-being for all, which is one of mine, then if my frequency doesn't match the words, then I might as well keep quiet. So please share your mantra with us if you have one. And if not, then use this one. Maybe add it to what you're doing already. So then I'd like to address the second step. So the second step is energy. Where is your energy flowing? You know, become really sensitive about what your energy is doing by feeling rather than thinking your way through the world. We have been made to believe that money is our greatest currency. Well, it isn't. Our greatest currency is our energy. So, not the energy of how fit you are or not, the frequency, the vibration that we radiate, that is our energy. And so, where are you spending your energy? Every time that you get into an argument because you want somebody to believe what you believe, you are spending energy wastefully. When I say wastefully, it is not being used consciously, intentionally. It is not going where it's going to be expanded. Okay. It is so important to have a deep understanding of energy, of the energetic being that you are. So we've been using our energy so carelessly, just turning on the news. That's spending it carelessly. Why? Because you are being programmed by drama. And boy, drama can suck you in, can't it? It's amazing. I find, even for as long as I've been doing this, sometimes I can make up stories or be drawn into making a dramatic story for no reason whatsoever. So be very vigilant about what you do with your energy. Have focus, focus, focus. If you want to live in a higher state of consciousness with peace, love, and harmony, that's where you need to spend your energy. I'm going to say that again. If you want peace, you need to radiate peace. If you want love, you need to radiate love. If you want well-being, you need to radiate well-being. And radiating well-being is usually through gratitude of what you already have. The more gratitude you have for what life is offering you, the more life will bring back to you. So anywhere that you focus your attention, at the moment you're focusing your attention here with me, that is wonderful. I'm so grateful to you. So whatever you can learn from watching this video, that is energy well spent if it is expansive. But if you're watching this video and then you go into judgment, that is then not expanding. Is that clear to you? It's so important to watch mainstream media or any other source of information that is not in alignment with your intention of creating a new earth, then that is just not energy well spent. Spend some time each day in stillness. Meditate if you need to. But for me, meditation isn't stillness. Stillness is just sitting and letting go and feeling the air around you. The air is in stillness. It's heavy, you know. If you feel the air, it's not nothing. Stillness is bringing everything within you into a very still state. But be very present. Stillness is beautiful. You can feel it right now. Just take some breaths. Feel the stillness around you. It's so nurturing, isn't it? We are such busy bees. Get up and go here and go there. No. Every day, give yourself the gift of stillness, just spending some time somewhere peacefully. I have two beautiful Burmese cats. For me to get any stillness, I have to lock myself in a room because they are animals that just want to be sitting with you and attached to you, and that's beautiful. But when I want my stillness, I have to take myself to a special spot and close the door and just feel. Stillness is about feeling. It's not about thinking, it's not about doing anything, but being incredibly present right here, right now. You can bring yourself to stillness right now, even though you're watching and listening to this video. Stillness. It's like everything in you just goes, whew. It's such a lovely gift in a busy day, just to take a few moments of being still. Be aware of your breath. Be aware of your heart, your body, your environment. And then ask yourself, are you feeling love, trust, creation, fear, doubt, division? This is how we learn to know ourselves. If we don't give ourselves that time of stillness, how will we get to know who we are? To get to know who we are, we need to spend time. Give ourselves that time where we can really feel every part of ourselves. When we know that the breath is our connection to Source, that our heart is beating within us to keep our blood pumping. We take everything for granted so much, We are living in the most magical piece of equipment. No one can ever design anything like this, no matter how hard they try. It's just amazing. It's magnificent. And it's continuously regenerating itself, restoring itself, rebalancing itself. The more we are at peace within this beautiful, beautiful instrument, the more we are going to find that we are in tune with ourselves. Yes, it's just an amazing feeling. I love spending time just with me, just sitting and asking me, how are you today? Is there anything I can do for you to make you feel better? So the more that we are aware of ourselves and support ourselves, the closer we become to knowing who we are and becoming more of that and loving that. So that's the second step, is all about where do you spend your energy. So I really want you to be self-honest now. Are you spending energy still in trying to fix the third dimension and having thoughts about what the government's doing or not doing, or what the people in the northern hemisphere are doing or not doing, or what the people next door are doing or not doing, or with what the council is, not my council, the local council is doing and not doing? Are you still engaged with a habit of worrying about what other people are doing or not doing? Because if you are, your energy is absolutely just bleeding out. Be more vigilant about where your thoughts go, where your emotions go, where your actions go. That's all spending the currency of energy. If you want to live on this path of ascension, then every thought and every action and every intention needs to be focused in that direction. You need to become love. You need to become peace. You need to become harmonious in everything you do. You need to become open and accepting of all beings. I did say it wasn't an easy journey, but when we elevate ourselves out of this place of programming, of contrast, of duality, then we know that we're all one. So having a judgment of another is having a judgment of ourselves. We are all of the same source. We are, as humans, I always say, we are the flowers of the tree of humanity. And yet we can't appreciate a flower that looks different to us. We go out in the garden, we don't say to one daisy, you're not as good looking as your next daisy. And then the daisy droops and goes, oh no, I'm not good enough. Well, that's what we do to humanity. Because we don't look alike. We don't eat the same food. We don't like the same things. Bit bizarre when you think about it. So let's get ourselves out of there and let's make really sure that we see our energy as the most valuable currency that we have, and we spend it where we want expansion, where we want growth, where we want love, where we want harmony, where we want unity. Yes, let's do that. Well, I'm doing it. I know many of you are already doing it. So we're coming to step 3. You're still with me, I hope, because remember, we are going to do a beautiful, beautiful meditative invocation that the council will be sharing with us. So step 3 is to surrender to fulfill your soul purpose. You know, all these steps are really flowing into each other, but it is this total surrender of your soul purpose. You know, we've all chosen to be here. This is not an accident that you're here. It's not an accident that I'm here. So we've chosen to have this experience at this time. So let go of our personal agendas and dedicate our life to fulfill that soul contract that we made before incarnation. Because, you know, that's what happens. We get together before we incarnate with our oversoul and our soul group, and then we put our hand up and say, well, I'll go down and do this job. That is why we have an oversoul and we have guides and we have all these unseen beings supporting us, because we're the patsy to put our hand up, right? Well, so now it's so important that we surrender to that and go, and we call in the team and we go, okay, because we're not alone. We're not a singular entity. We come with an oversoul, with a whole entourage of energy beings that are traveling with us when we call them in. So that is why, you know, in the first step, we call in the team because we are traveling as one. So we spend so much time doing rather than being. We have to change that. We have to take ourselves into a much more fluid life, trusting that the unseen team is holding the script for the contract. And when we trust in the guidance from them, then we all go as one down this track. Yeah. So we let go and let soul be the driver of this journey. And the daily tasks become so much less stressful. You know, that's when we find synchronicity. Everybody, I want ease and grace and synchronicity. Well, we can have that, but it has to start with step 1 in the morning and step 2, where you direct your energy and your intentions, and then step 3, surrender, and then you'll see the signs and the synchronicity. They show up. So when we make fulfilling our soul contract our priority, that's the problem. Our priority has been, well, you know, I'll do that when I've done this and when I've done that. So many people tell me, oh yes, but I've got to get the kids to school first and I've got this and that and something else. And I always remember that when I went on this journey, I still had 3 kids to get to school. That's nearly 40 years ago. Now their kids have grown up and gone to university. But it is so important to know that if you're really serious, if you really want to be on this path of ascension, you'll make time. So get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it might mean you might have to have a nap in the afternoon, or you might have to get to bed earlier. It's all about a decision that you make. Right? It's a decision that you make. At my stage of life, everybody else is telling me I should retire and I should be doing this or that. Well, I should not be doing this or that. That lovely should word. But no. 5 to 5:30, I am awake and I'm connecting to soul and I'm surrendering to our soul contract, whatever that needs to be. And the more that I do it, the more beautiful my life becomes. Not without challenges, definitely not. But the challenges I recognize as growth. And the moment that I recognize a challenge as growth and I relax into it, we move out of it pretty smoothly. So it may not be clear to the intellect what that purpose is that we have signed up for, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's always clear to the heart and the soul. So when you listen to that, the way will be shown. So, again, I'm going to give you this wonderful piece of the mantra that I start with. I consciously connect to my soul. As I joyously open myself to a new day filled with wondrous experiences, with love in my heart and faith in my step, I follow Spirit without hesitation to the next phase of my journey. I ask for the highest possibility in all situations and circumstances. Now, I'm reading this off my book, which I'll show you in a minute. As I follow the natural process for the purpose of my life. It's the first step of the 13 steps of how to to keep your daily intentions on par. So, okay, if you want to know where to get that, it is on Kindle, on Amazon, and I do have them here. You can send me a message and I will organize to get it posted to you. Okay, so if you start your day like that every day, remembering that you're not alone, you're just not alone. If you have both your inner and your outer to work in unison, you have your soul, your guide, your oversoul, higher self, and your soul community. So reach out when you need it. On this channel, you have found that the more you comment and share, and all these people are saying, oh, I'm up here. Is there anyone that lives near me? Well, do that. Do that. Because we are gathering together here. And together we're elevating beyond the old paths of constriction into the paths of ascension. And this is all the more reason to do these things together. So remember, if this all resonates, please support us by subscribing, liking, and sharing, not just for me and this channel, but to activate the ripple effect of building community in the field. So now I would like you to settle down and just take a deep breath and relax, because the council has a very special meditative invocation for you. So please get comfortable, just settle down, take a few deep breaths, just jiggle your body a little bit. Yes, just be comfortable. So this was downloaded for me direct from the Council of 12. Just sitting peacefully, remember that stillness. Beloved soul of light, close your eyes now and gently bring your awareness to your breath. Feel the earth beneath you, steady and wise. Feel the stars above, whispering remembrance. And feel the radiant current of Source running through you always. We, the Council of 12, speak now into the depth of your being. You were never lost. You were never alone. You have always walked the path of light, even when your eyes were clouded and the world felt dense. In this moment of now, we call upon your divine remembrance. We call forth the codes of truth, unity and wholeness, buried in your bones. We awaken the golden thread within you, the thread that connects you to the higher realms, to the earth's sacred dreaming, to the great council of souls guiding this planetary rebirth. Repeat after us. I stand at the edge of the old and the new. I choose the timeline of truth, of peace, and of soul-led creation. I release fear, distraction, and distortion. I reclaim my power as a conscious creator of the new earth. I walk forward with grace, anchored in love, guided by light. Let this be your compass in the coming days, to choose not what is loudest, but what is truest, to walk not with urgency, but with certainty, to rise not alone, but with the radiant strength of unity consciousness. You are not merely witnessing the shift, you are the shift. You are the song, the seed, the star reborn. So it is. Take a deep breath and return to wherever you are, knowing that you are a part of the whole, that we are all traveling together on this path of ascension. I do hope that what you've learned today will support you, will give you some extra information to stay steadfast and to keep remembering who you are and to keep loving who you are and to be who you are, a divine expression of the infinite field of consciousness, that which creates all that is. So thank you so much for being with me on this beautiful day, wherever you are. As I always say, love yourself and be yourself. I love you. Love yourself more. Until we meet next time. See you later.